Greetings from the beyond. I have such endless gratitude for this day. Look at this sunlight. I mean, 10 out of 10. All right, real quick, the download, the message that I will elaborate more on. Hello, message from the universe. This is what you've been waiting for, the confirmation. You are ready. And you know how you know you're ready? If you're really fucking annoyed, if you're really tired, if you're really uncomfortable, if you just can't take the pain anymore. Don't get mad. Get ready, because that is your body telling you the time is now. It's not a bad thing to be incredibly in discomfort and annoyed and in pain and in fear and like, I can't do this any longer. Oh my God, my life is not. That's such a good. I'm glad that you're there. Bravo. You've reached the ready line. So let's dive into the ocean together, because I'm telling you, once you start swimming around, the water is just fine, babes. The water is just fine. Okay, go give gratitude and I'll be right back with some more later. Mwah, such good stuff. Okay. Okay, greetings from the beyond the grocery store. I have done my shopping. I have to talk about Virgo season because something happened to me today. The shit hit the fan, let's just say, okay? I was awoken by a very unpleasant thing happening in my bathroom, and me and my landlord, there's a apartment above me, but no one lives there right now. So just me and my landlord were experiencing our toilet clogging up. And he, wanted to blame it on me and was like, well, here's, because he had to do the corkscrew snaky thing. It was very scary, and a lot of shit came out, and it was, you don't want to know. He wanted to blame it on me, and it might be because I have flushed a paper towel or two, but he's like, here's all the wipes that you say you don't flush, and I'm like, I have never flushed a wipe in my goddamn life. I don't know the person who used to live here. I don't know, whatever she did, I have no idea. But the point is, the toilet had just reached the point of, I can't take it anymore. So backtracking a few days, I listened to this podcast with Lisa Salvatore. I love her so much. She's my astrology guru. She said, whenever I think of Virgo, I think of a plunger, because you got to plunge the shit out and get out with the old and in with the new. And Virgo's all about self-care, and Virgo's all about cleanse, detox, Scorpio a little bit too, but really Virgo season is that spring cleaning. Let's get ready for the new phase, brand sparkly new notebooks and pens, and let's get things moving. I didn't even put it together. I listened to this podcast 2 days ago, and I was like, oh my God, Virgo is like a plunger. That is correct, that image. I'm like, and I would never say that to my Virgo friends, because they would be like, excuse me, a plunger? But no, it's true. Virgo plunges that shit. If a Virgo archetype had to be anything other than a virgin, it would be like a plumber, someone who shows up, and it's like, thank you so much, Virgo plumber, with the plunger man, because you're doing the dirty jobs that no one wants to do. You make things go, Virgo. Truly, Virgos make it go. So, and they know how to go. No, Virgos rule by the gut. So pooping, right? I'm not kidding. This is all linked. It's all connected, guys. So back to what I was saying yesterday, when you want to say I'm sorry to someone, or you want to pass the blame onto someone else, maybe skip it. Maybe completely just skip that step. Instead of saying, I'm so sorry, or it wasn't me, or all of that, only creates more resistance. And then it puts the other person in a weird position to okay, now that you've apologized, and yeah, it's a good apology, and sure, maybe you have your reasons, and maybe it's not even your fault, but it does still put them in the position of now I must forgive you. And maybe they're not ready to forgive you. I don't know, whatever. Skipping all of that, go right to, hey, you're awesome. I wanted to pay you a compliment, and I had no idea what I was doing, but you did, and go you. And what does a Virgo love more than a really good compliment or really good praise? So side note, praise the Virgo in your life. Locate that Virgo in your life. We all have one, especially if you're a hot mess of a person. Oh, clock myself. You have a lot of Virgos in your life, I'm sure. Locate the Virgo in your life and just tell them thanks. It doesn't even have to be for anything specific. Just say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for coming to work today. So, what are we going to do? We are going to say, I'm sorry, in cookies. We're going to bake some cookies for our landlord, because he did have to plunge a lot of, very unpleasant things out of the toilet. So we are going to bake cookies. Bake cookies with me. I came home so Sandra has like every cooking appliance known to man. And I was convinced, of course, there would be a baking sheet waiting for me at home somewhere. None to be found. So we are going to make 12 big cookies. 12, best number ever, right? If you know, you know. We're gonna bake 12 big cookies on tinfoil and parchment paper. Let's do it. First, we're preheating to 350. How do I preheat? Oh, bake. Got it. 350. Start. Yeah. I don't believe that my oven has ever been used. Ever. Not by me, anyway. I wanted to not bake these cookies, right? And it's not because I didn't want to go to the trouble of like cleaning out the oven, because that has become a storage unit because we have very little storage in this apartment. So that's like a storage unit for all the pots and pans and whatnot. So it's not because I didn't want to clean that out. It's not because I didn't want to buy the cookies and put the effort into making the cookies. It's not any of that. I realized this idea of readiness is really something that I'm like, this is bothering me. It's really something that I'm wrapping my brain around, because I always, since I can remember, I'm just about ready. I'm just about ready. Wait for it. Wait, hold on. Ready in a minute. Wait. One more thing I got to do, and then I'll be ready. You know, if you know me, you know me. So what am I waiting for? What are we waiting for when we say, I'm not quite ready yet? Why not? Why do we delay feeling good? Why are we not? Because giving these cookies as a thank you to my landlord will only make me feel really good. It'll make him feel good. And why am I delaying this gratification of doing a really nice thing and saying thanks to someone? Because there's a part of me deep down that has been winning for years that doesn't feel worthy of holding respect, or that doesn't feel proud enough of myself, or worth it enough to be forgiven. Ooh, ding, ding, ding. That's what it is. I didn't feel worthy of forgiveness. See, here we are again, worthy of forgiveness. Interesting. That's silly. So I'm making this rule now where it's like, this is a creative act, you know, making cookies. That's creative. Cooking is not my creative language, but it is for some people. And also it's a love act, and love is creativity. There's nothing more creative than loving someone or thanking someone. Thanking, love, it's the same thing. So this is a creative act. So if it's like an idea that I have to create something, I put it on my list of projects to start, you know, and then at the end of the day, I try to check off as many as I can, instead of I'm going to listen to a podcast and stretch or whatever. It's like, maybe I can check off another one of the things on the list. Maybe I can do my mending, my sewing. Maybe I can hang a picture, because nothing's hung up in my apartment. And you know, it's maybe we can try something new. Just do something new, just cause it's fun to do different things than the way that you've ever done it before. Because only by breaking patterns and breaking thought loops will we ever get a different outcome than what we have been getting in the past. So in the past, Jade would have bought these cookies, come home and said, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. It was about to go on the creativity list, and I was like, no, I don't want to write it down on the list. I just want to do it. I just want to bake these damn cookies for my landlord. And also, it's a sign of integrity to show, you know, I didn't wait 24 hours. I didn't wait a single little second. I'm going to wash my hands before I touch these cookies. I did it that very day that everything fell to shit. No pun intended. I went out to the store and I bought the cookies, and I had my hand on the bag of like Montauk what are those Montauk cookies? They're in the fancy white Pepperidge Farm. There it is. I almost bought the pre-made cookies, you know, the macadamia nut, Sausalito, Montauk, I don't know, whatever they're called. I don't eat sugar. I don't eat cookies. That's no shade if you do. I just, my body is too sensitive and my skin will rebel. Although there may be a taste of this cookie dough in my future. Me? What? Maybe just a little bit. I almost bought the pre-made cookies, and then I said, no, what says lovin' more than making cookies myself? Now, granted, I am not making them in a bowl with a whisk, and I'm not getting measuring spoons out, because Jade's not a cook. So that would be very nice to show all that effort, but also we're gonna veer into the territory of like, we may hurt the man, because if I have to make it from scratch, there's no guarantee that it's gonna be good. So I didn't want to make them unpleasant. But I'm like, yeah, a rip and tear of, you know, Toll House brick of, here, look at this. Ooh, yumma. So yeah, we can slap them down on a, not a baking sheet, but a parchment paper covered tinfoil thing. And that will show you care more, you know? And then I also want the smell of cookies in my home, because that just sounds amazing. Like, if I'm not gonna eat the cookies, I can at least make my whole house smell like cookies. So speaking of which, it's very, very apparent that my stove has never been used because the gas is smelling kind of funky. So we're gonna check on that. Hold on a second. Okay, we have reached 350. Here are the little cookies. Look at the cute little balls. There's 11 of them because I'm saving this one for me for later. All right, so this is gonna be a little terrifying. So we're gonna try this. Very precarious situation. Now it says bake along pre-scored lines. Pre-scored lines, I don't know what that means. Bake 6 cookies 3 inches apart on an ungreased baking sheet. Well, what if you want to make all 12 cookies? So it says bake 12 to 13 minutes or until golden brown. So we're going to check them at 13 minutes and we're going to see how we're going, because maybe if you bake more, you need to bake them longer. I don't know. This, for whatever reason, doesn't have the baking instructions for if you want to bake them all in one go, which doesn't make much sense to me, but all right. Pull this little baby out. And we're gonna set these up. Please do not roll away. Please. Ah, we're rolling away. All right. Please stay in your place. Damn it. Okay, this is gonna be harder than I thought it was gonna be to transport this. All right, so we're gonna put it here. All right, here we go. And then we're gonna spread them out again. Get in your little place. All of the heat is now coming out of the oven, but whatever. I have no idea if this works or if this does not work, but we're gonna be, you know, we're at least gonna give it a try. Okay. That was stressful. Whew. See, this is really the reason why I didn't do this. I have to use my phone to set my timer. This is really the reason I didn't do this, because there's a reason I don't cook, because it is truly, literally the most stressful thing I know of in this lifetime. But as it says on the vision board, just a yonder, it says, I call in nourishment. Cookies are nourishment. But also, this is not about my nourishment. This is not about me. This is about Virgo season acts of service, acts of care, and saying sorry without the word sorry. Okay, so we have checked the cookies at 13 minutes. They were very not done. So I don't know why Toll House doesn't say how many minutes you need to cook these things if you want to cook them all at one go, but we put it back in for 6 minutes. Now we're gonna have another little check. Get a good angle on it. There we go. This is like the scariest thing every time I open this oven. No, well, I don't think they're done. I don't think so. So here, wait, let me just show you. Wait, I just had a realization. I can do addition. How many people in the world are watching this going, Jade, if there's 12 cookies in the package and the baking time is set for 6 cookies at 13 minutes, then guess what you gotta do? Double it. So we're cooking them for another 6 minutes. I mean, baking. And then we'll see how we go, because I'm pretty sure that I just cracked the code. Pepperidge Farm, Toll House. I got your number. Literally, the number would be, what is 13 times 2? 26. 26. So, yeah, okay, we got 6 more minutes. Golden. By George, I think we've done it. Whew. The house smells absolutely fabulous. Okay, so here they are, my little babies. They may be a touch on the brown side, like, oops, wait. I don't know, I think they look pretty good. They have a little bit of give to them still. So yeah, we have 11 beautiful babies here. I decided that since I'm saving the 12th cookie for moi, I'm also seeing my friend tomorrow who I was just talking to on the phone, and they were like, Toll House chocolate chip are my favorite. So I think now I have to save 2 for them. So I think that means 8 are going to my landlord. And yeah, the other 2 will go to my friend, and the 12th cookie will be from me. I have my rent check ready to go, and I have a little note. Hey, Ricky, I know you had a shitty morning with, I don't know what. Don't make fun of me. Please be kind to my little drawing. So hopefully this sweetens your evening. Thanks for being the best landlord. Love, Jade. You know, it's like I had to go the extra mile. So we're gonna let these little babies cool for a moment, and then we're gonna drop them off at Ricky's door. And I'm not gonna like wait for his reaction or anything. I'm just gonna drop them and then text him like, hey, you still up? Look outside your door. I don't know, maybe I should knock on his door and just hand them to him directly. I don't think so. I don't know. Ricky's a very private person. He's the sweetest guy. He's always high. I decided, and I can do math, by the way. I was like, if I give 8 cookies to Ricky, then 2 will be for my friend tomorrow, and then the 12th one is for me. There's still 1 left over. Hello, Jade. So Ricky will get 9 cookies for Ricky, which makes sense. That's a good number for him, I think. So I realized that you always want to eat the cookies when they're still hot, right? Like that's kind of like the whole point. So I'm gonna bring them to him right now and not mention anything about me being less than the best. We're just gonna say thank you. I'm just gonna tell him that he's awesome. I just gave them to him. The look on his face was truly like, I feel high right now. I feel so high. Because I just made his night. I know I did. Warm Toll House chocolate chip cookies. I knew. And so like right now, I'm just wanting to compliment myself, right? For being like so amazing. Great. That's okay. That's good. Because, you know, I righted the wrong. And now when I look back on this day, I'm not going to remember how I kind of let my landlord down and maybe flushed some things that I shouldn't have flushed. Although I never flush wipes. Paper towels are not good either. But I had actually already turned this corner of like, gotta be more cautious of what you throw down the toilet, you know? But yeah, so today was a great day of just giving acts of service and thanks and love and joy. And I did the little act of love toward myself, because now is the time of self-love. I bought myself a little rose. She smells so good. I put her in this cool tequila bottle. I like that she has like 2 little arms sticking out on either side too. She's very like, here I am. I'm little teapot kind of vibes. So yeah, we're feeling really good tonight, and I have more to share. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my arm, and here is my other arm. Aren't I pretty? All right, so make dinner with me. So I'm making a kale salad right now. Here we are. Come along. So we're spinning salad right now in the salad spinel. So, okay. I wanted to talk about what happens when you're confronted with something really displeasing, something shitty, if you will. So this happened to me. I've been taking these kind of new roads, and that, if you know Jersey, I always say, not Jersey City, Pothole City, okay? It is rough on the bike, rough on the crotch, just a lot of bouncing around because there are just potholes abound. And you can't even see them coming. And then it'll just be like a 6-foot divot in the road. And it's like, okay, I guess we're going woo, like over the bump. So I went over these railroad tracks. I had my headphones in, and having had the thought earlier that day, I should probably secure my bike lock, which I didn't listen to that little voice of intuition. But if you know my other stories of things flying off my bike, it's always, every single time, not just some of the times, always of the times, whenever something flies off my bike, I always have the thought, maybe I should secure that, which I never think. I never think, oh, maybe plan for the worst case scenario. No, that's not Jade. I just go through life, la, 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 it'll all be fine. And it always usually is. But when I have the thought, maybe I should secure this more securely, fasten it, I always, Jade, are you listening? Is this thing on? Listen to that little voice of intuition. There was a huge bump that I didn't see coming. I had my headphones on. I was listening to Sia. I was singing at the top of my lungs. I felt like I should stop a block or two later. And I was like, is my bag gonna blow up? I got a feeling like something is amiss behind me on my little bike thing. I pull over, I look under my bag. I'm like, where'd my bike chain, where'd it go? And like, it's a $50 chain, but also I had my house keys plugged into it. My house keys my bike key, you know, the tracker device that I have, you have the key fob to connect to it, and then it shows like, this is the owner of the bike. So, you know, it doesn't think it's always being stolen. So that key fob is another, you know, 50 something, $45 or something. So that was on there, my house keys and my bike chain. So that all bloop fell off. And I backtracked my way back around, tried to go back over the railroad tracks. There were some guys doing construction there too, like late at night. And I was like, guys, did you see a bike chain? I just, you know, when I went over this huge bump, and they're like, no, we're like doing our job. Like, we couldn't give a fuck about your bike chain. So I, you know, someone must have picked it up right after I dropped it. So that's what happens. Now, okay, this is what meditation has given me, right? Whenever something unpleasant occurs, I have no ability to think of this occurrence as anything negative, or like, oh, this is because I deserve this. This is because I'm gonna put this on the floor so it doesn't get noisy. So I don't think like, oh, this is because I'm a bad person. This is because, oh, great, now I have to pay all this money, blah, blah, blah. My thoughts immediately go to, this is for my highest good. This is to teach me an awesome lesson. I can't wait to find out what the lesson is here, but there's a reason that I lost this bike chain. Because if it's a big happening, like something gets stolen, you lose a bunch of money, a huge inconvenience, you know, and luckily I have a backup lock, but it could have been really kind of put me in a pickle to get home and not have a way to lock up my bike because I can't bring it in the house. So I start riding my bike home, and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna keep our vibe high. We're just gonna like wait for the message to reveal itself as to why this happened to me, right? It's to teach me something, and I just gotta stay curious, stay alert, and I'll find out what the something is that I'm supposed to learn from this. And that's when I realized I just got a new bike. I used to have another one up until 3 or 4 months ago. I never updated my bike insurance. Now, I also have a warranty on my lock, so they're sending me another one. I realized I never updated my bike info on my bike insurance. You're supposed to upload pictures of what the bike looks like, the serial number, and the receipt proof of purchase, so that if anything ever happens to that bike, I'm insured for up to $1,200 for my bike and all the parts and all the accoutrements, as well as like the tracking device and everything. You know, that $1,200 more than covers what I paid for that bike. So I immediately, when I was like, realized that this was the reason that this had happened to me, I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because this unpleasant, annoying thing had to happen to me to get my attention, to make me realize, Jade, all of these months have gone by and you haven't updated your bike info. What if something, you know, God forbid, something happens where your bike gets stolen or totaled or whatever, and then you have to file a claim? The insurance company is going to be looking at you like, are you okay? Really? This is what the bike, because it says it's another bike. What have you been doing, lady? And it wasn't because I was like putting it off. So yesterday, one of the things that I did on my anxiety day was I took all of my photos of the new bike, I uploaded everything, and it's difficult to navigate that like site, my bike insurance site. I found like there's all these little like tabs that don't make sense. So it took a minute, you know, and I was like, this is kind of unpleasant. But as soon as I was done, as soon as I had like updated everything and I filed the claim for my bike lock, they're going to send me a new bike lock. I ordered myself a new key fob. That sucks that I do have to lose out on the money for the key fob, but whatever. This is a $45 lesson that has brought me security. It has brought me, now I felt so good after I had just responsibly taken care of my things, of my belongings, because I'm paying for this insurance. Like, I might as well make sure that it's, you know, I get use out of it if anything ever happens. And then I've been drawing tarot cards, one tarot card for every day. Today, 9 of Swords, protection, security, safety, responsibility, being able to lay your head down, knowing that the doors are all safely locked in my house. And if anything amiss happens, I have all the safety nets in place to be able to handle it. I breathe so much easier now. So
because I never for 1 second got upset. Oh, fuck, now my bike lock, and now I have to buy a new bike lock, and what if I don't have my spare bike lock, and what if I can't find the key, and what if da-da-da, and this sucks, where's my bike lock? If I had gone down that road, do you know how long it would have taken me to realize that the reason that this had to happen was to draw my attention to the bike insurance? But because I stayed in my high vibe, knowing that, of course, this is a really shitty situation that is for my highest good, not one single thought. I mean, I maybe had a fleeting thought of like, fuck. But then I was like, nope, this is for my highest good. We're going to figure out why. Stay in your high vibe. Do not let something negative bring you down, because what happens when some shitty shit goes down, and I keep saying this and like, no pun intended. What happens when your toilet gets clogged or whatever, it's drawing, or what happens when your self gets clogged, your mind, what happens when something breaks down, when your neck, goes out, your back goes out, you get pink eye, I don't know, whatever it is, like a little nuisance that happens to your physical or, in your physical space or your physical body. It's drawing your attention. Look here. Hello, the universe is always sending you signs, telling you to look at something because you're missing it. Hello. And a lot of the time we won't notice if everything's going great, but we will notice if something is annoying. Sometimes we're going to massage the kale. Sometimes in life, you'll be put with someone that you have to work with who is really like annoying you, or someone that you have to spend a lot of time with and you don't have a choice. You have to be around this person. And they're bringing you these vibes that are just like, oh my God, you drive me literally freaking crazy. The universe is alerting you to something. It's sending you a messenger. So whenever you have to be in close proximity with someone or something that is really annoying you, maybe like a sound of something is in your neighborhood. Like for example, for me, I'm having like a very Modern Family dad moment because there's a house across the street with a chirping smoke alarm, and it's been chirping for a few days now. I'm very aware of this because I meditate outside, and I tried to go ask the neighbors about it, and they said, oh yeah, that family's still on vacation, they should be back in a few days. So as soon as they get back, we're all going to get on it and be like, change your battery in your smoke detector, because every 2 seconds we hear chirp chirp. But that, again, this is for my highest good. Although the chirping sound is annoying, in my meditations I have found I use this chirping sound because I can now time when a minute has passed. Although I don't like to be made aware of the time when I'm meditating, I have no choice but to hear this chirping sound, right? So sometimes I give myself little mental tasks while meditating to see how many mantras I can get through in 1 minute, and really be conscious of like every word that I say during, and then when I hear the chirping noise again, I'll be like, oh great, I got like 11 mantras and they were all different and I went through them all in 1 minute. Like that's a lot of amazing, different, good things to come up with in your brain in such a short amount of time. So it's like kind of cool because I get to make these little meditation mini challenges if I so choose. And then there are other times when I'll be in meditation and I really get in there and I really go there and I have no body. I'm nowhere. I am nirvana. It is amazing. And then I realize I haven't heard the chirping sound. And then 2 seconds, chirp. I'm like, okay, well now we're back. Something unpleasant is making you aware of something. So the sooner you can get over your complaining and get creative about the situation, ask questions. What is this drawing my attention to? Okay. And then go deeper. Why am I so bothered by this? Okay. Then go deeper. Well, what if I were to see this as a tool? How could I use this to my self-betterment, and then on and on and on, and you're on a breadcrumb trail of adventure trying to figure out what this annoying thing is placed in your life to show you. And then everything that pisses you off no longer pisses you off. You're not complaining, you're creating. I know, right? Like God is always good. Abundance is always abounding. Only always, okay? Only always. So yeah, using everything in order to fuel your creativity. And creativity looks a lot of ways. Like I love to say things like doing something that just brings you comfort or someone else, recognition. That is a creative act. If you're in a meeting and your feet are sweating in your shoes and you take your shoes off, provided like they're not super stinky and like they're not gonna like, that's not gonna piss somebody off. But like, I don't know, maybe like stand up from the conference table, walk over to the corner, give yourself a little pace, take off your shoes, stretch out your feet. You know, is anybody really gonna care that much? And that is a creative act because you have just made yourself comfortable. How again, comfort and relaxation, not, you guys, come closer. This is not something that should be earned. This is a way of life. This is an act of love that should be mandatory baseline. We're all, you know, putting up all of these like, oh, I'm fine. Oh, it's great. This facade of just like, yes, are you comfortable? Well, you know, I'm not comfortable, but no, the answer is no, you're not comfortable. So in any small way, any time that you make a shitty situation or something unpleasant, anytime that you make it a little bit better, that is a creative act. Or you could sit there and go, oh my God, my feet are killing me. And you can complain. It's up to you. You can complain or you can create. I really want to encourage you now to see rejection or failure or something just really unpleasant happening that's super inconvenient as an opportunity to practice positivity. Thank you, universe, for bringing me this amazing experience that is totally shitty and that is causing me great annoyance right now. No one's gonna die. It's just I'm gonna have to go the long way around. I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more money, whatever. But I can do it all knowing that this is for my highest good. And now I get to practice for when the really big shit hits the fan, because it's always, the really big shit always hits the fan. It's life. You know, we all, you know, you get some bad news from the doctor, or our loved one does, or you know, something happens with our children or our, you know, a relative, whatever, like your lover just leaves you, you know, whatever. So you want to be toughened up those skins, and you want to have practiced positivity so that when the big shit goes down, your automatic first gut reaction is, nope, this is for my highest good. Let's get curious. Let's get creative. What are we not going to do? We're not going to complain. No, we're not going to say, woe is me, because you know what? I can handle this because this is my life. And I don't get thrown anything in this life that I can't freaking handle. And then this makes you a spiritual badass. Do you see what I'm saying? So get curious, get creative, and whenever you complain, forgive yourself. Daisy, right? Have your safe word. Oh shit, I'm getting real negative, aren't I? Well, we're just gonna Daisy that one. We're just gonna say, I forgive you. And now you are free to find the answer, Nancy Drew, to go on a scavenger detective hunt. And instead of being a passerby in this life where all of the obstacles and the bigger things are against you and you're just trying to tread water, and no. You are going to be an active player in that game of your freaking life, and you're going to get into it. You're going to roll up your sleeves. You're going to get dirty and get your hands in there. You're going to make some cookies. You're going to bring them to your neighbor. And you're going to feel so good about yourself. Like seriously, if I do nothing else for the rest of my life, I feel so good because I hit the look on his face when he got those. I really wish I could have filmed it, but I didn't want to be like, hey, Riggy, here's the camera in your face. No, it's all about service. That's another thing. Keep that one in mind. Acts of service. Call the Virgo in your life. Tell them thank you. Doesn't have to be for anything specific. They will know. They will get the message. They will be like, oh, yes, you're welcome. That's all I have to say. I'm going to eat my delicious kale salad. Stunning. Woo! This 1 hour meditation, I'm going strong on it, and yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. All right, mwah, bye. Chirp. Oh, man. All right, well, it's gonna last me a couple of days.